Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Let's talk about dating when you're over 50 or over 20. Let's talk about dating tonight. I will link an excellent article for you that we can use to talk about tonight. And while it is written for those over 50, much of it could also use to apply to those who are over 20. I want to hear from you if you think these will work or if you have found someone. What helped you through the often uncomfortable venture into dating, especially if you haven't done it in a while? Subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea, whether you're younger or older, and we can chat about what works and what doesn't when trying to find love overseas. Get notifications by clicking the bell. Let me hear your comments. The Community Corner message forums on the WordPress site are also a good place to comment and meet others to chat about finding love beyond the sea. Now, this is from bestlifeonline.com. Whether you're recently divorced, widowed, or just haven't found the right person yet, if you're on the dating scene at the midlife mark, you're far from alone. According to Census data, more than a quarter of adults between the ages of 45 and 59 are single. In fact, there are 19.5 million unmarried Americans over 65. However, while there may be plenty of fish in the sea, finding a real catch is easier said than done, especially if Nixon was still in office the last time you went on a first date. After all, the dating world today is much different from the dating world even 20 plus years ago, says life coach and licensed mental health counselor Dr. Jamie Kalaga, PhD. So how can over 50 singles re-enter the dating scene with confidence? Follow these tips for dating over 50, and many apply if you're over 20, and you'll find that special someone in no time, they say. Now, from this article, a lot of good points, a lot of things you can comment about here. Again, we're in the Community Corner. Number one, avoid internalizing rejections. Whether you've been single for some time or have just gotten back on the dating scene after a long relationship, nobody likes feeling rejected. However, try not to take it personally when you don't match with someone on a dating app or don't hear from them again for, after a few flirty messages. Social media has improved dating, increasing the selection of people you meet, but it has also posed some problems too. One of those issues is the ease in rejecting people. In fact, on some platforms with a simple swipe to the left or right, you can reject someone, but this rejection is not to be taken to heart, says Kulaga. With how many people you can meet online, think of rejection as a time saver as opposed to something that is wrong with you. Mr. or Miss Right will come along, but you need to remain confident in who you are and be open-minded to the people that come your way. I don't know what it is about starting a video that makes me want to sneeze. Number two, expand your usual age limits. Even if you've only dated people around your age in the past, why limit yourself now? While dating someone 10 to 20 years older or younger than you may be, might have been a big deal in your 20s and 30s, you'll likely realize that there isn't that much of a difference between a mature 38-year-old and a 58-year-old, or even between a 50 and 70-something. Now, I certainly met with my share of rejection, and I did increase my age limits when I went overseas, which is something that can be done, and for many of us, I think really needs to be considered strongly if you want to be married. It's just a good point, and there's a lot of good points in this article. Number three, ease into talking about sensitive subjects. Many 50-somethings have built business and careers, are putting children through college, and have even faced some health issues. But on the first few dates with someone, it is not appropriate to focus on how much money they have in the bank and if they have health issues, says Kalaga. The first few dates should be getting to know each other's personality, a little bit about their family, likes, a few dislikes, and fun life experiences. If date one jumps right to the serious and tough parts of life that even take a toll on the strongest couples, you may be weeding out, or they may be weeding you out, some really amazing people to have fun with. Number four, don't be afraid to make your needs known. Just because you're not 22 anymore doesn't mean you have to accept any kind of relationship that's offered to you. If you're over 50, still want to play the field, or you're looking for someone who shares a passion for traveling, instead of spending nights in, it's your prerogative to be honest about those wishes. Don't compromise and find yourself in a relationship you don't really want. Number 5, embrace your age. Feel confident and sexy as opposed to finding ways to hide your age or lie about it. At some point, your age is going to come forward anyway. Don't lie about it today and then have to find ways to come forward with the truth later after you really like someone, says Kalaga. Talk about fun life experiences you have had and the goals you still have. Show your age and wisdom in fun, exciting ways that make people want to be a part of your journey. Now, I want to forward ahead here because I would like to mention this place. It's bestoflife.com, dating over 50, and that's where this information is coming from. So another point here they make is listen attentively. If you haven't been on a date in some time, it may be hard to contain your excitement, meaning you end up talking more than listening. However, if you're eager to land a second date, make sure you're actively listening to the person you're with. Feeling heard goes a long way toward building trust. 7, don't expect things to be the same as when you were 20. Dating isn't necessarily the formal affair it was when you were younger, so don't assume that you need to get your best suit ready, buy flowers, or get your hair done just to grab a cup of coffee with someone. Similarly, now that you're older, don't expect that things will get physical as fast as they did when you were younger. 8, use photos on your online dating profile that reflect how you look currently. While it may be tempting to obscure your lines and wrinkles by using a filter or by posting an antique image or far away photo, there are plenty of people out there eager to date people who look just like you, just the way you are today. 9, send a few flirty texts. Who says that a little digital flirtation is out of the question just because you're over 50? While we're not suggesting you send anything explicit to your date, a text reminding them that you can't wait to see them again can go a long way. Number 10, according to this article, ask someone out even if you've never done it before. Even if asking someone out has never crossed your mind before, why not give it a try? While it takes a little bravery the first time, once you get a yes, you'll have the confidence you need to do it again. 11, try an age-specific dating site. Don't want your online profile to get lost in a sea of 20-somethings on your average dating site. Try an age-specific one instead. Sites like Our Time or Silver Singles make it easier to find someone who isn't just fine with your age, but is specifically looking for someone your age. Number 12, don't get hung up on your past relationships. A painful divorce or the 30 happy years you spent together before your spouse's death may weigh heavily on your mind, but that doesn't mean stuff like that is appropriate first date fodder. When in doubt, save the talk of your past relationships for later down the line. 13, master a skillful compliment. No matter what your age, everyone loves a thoughtful compliment. To ensure that your flattery isn't misconstrued, try to make your initial compliments about your date's personality or physical features from the neck up, like you have such a winning smile, or I just love your sense of humor. You're aiming for charming, not creepy. 14, ask a friend to introduce you. Don't feel ready to brave the online dating scene. Ask a friend to set you up. By the time you're in your 50s, your friends likely know some other folks who are dating and also want to avoid downloading Tinder. 15, put together some new outfits. If you don't feel good about the way you look, you're going to be preoccupied when you go on a date. Taking an absence from the dating world may have you feeling out of touch, insignificant, or flat out old. Nothing is sexier than confidence, so make sure you take the time to refresh your wardrobe, practice yoga, or work out, says Maria Sullivan, dating expert and vice president of dating.com. Do whatever it takes to boost your self-esteem. 16, get some advice from friends who've started dating again. Have your friends found love after 50? Ask them for tips. If you have children or younger friends you feel comfortable talking to about dating, get their input. You'll be surprised at what kind of advice they have to give. You may notice that dating culture today is much more different than it used to be, and these loved ones can be great resources and confidence boosters, says Sullivan. Another point, get to know each other before meeting in person. Just because someone is interested in meeting you doesn't mean you need to schedule an in-person date immediately. Jumping straight back into dating after a long break may be weird at first. Test the waters by starting conversations with multiple people, suggests Sullivan. Once you feel you've found your groove, you can take the next step and meet for coffee or dinner. Another point, go Dutch. Even if you're used to one party paying for dates, for someone older on fixed incomes, buying more than one meal or movie ticket might not be in their budget. Offering to split costs takes some of the pressure off your date and allows you to sidestep some of those confining gender norms. Another point, be patient on dating apps. Just because you don't instantly find your inbox flooded with messages from potential partners doesn't mean there isn't someone out there waiting to meet you. Even for people much younger than you, dating is still a process. So be patient with both yourself and your potential partners. Also, never talk trash about your ex. Even if your ex left you with a mountain of debt or some deep-rooted trust issues, do your best not to trash talk them to your early dates. Well, the end of your last relationship is bound to come up at some point if you keep seeing someone. If you say malicious things about your ex, your date might peg you as an unkind or cruel person and be less than eager to go out again. Also, respond to messages in a timely manner. Even if you're not the most tech-savvy person, it pays to follow some basic etiquette rules when online dating, including responding to messages in a timely manner. While it may not seem like much time to you, the online dating world moves fast. So, if you haven't written back to someone in a few days, they'll likely assume you're not interested. Look up your prospective dates online before meeting. Before you agree to meet someone you met online, you can look them up first. Even a cursory Google search can bring up everything from their work information to their mugshot. Always better to be safe than sorry. Talk yourself up online. You may not feel as confident dating at 50 as you did at 25, but that doesn't mean you should let that show in your dating profile. While nobody wants to be a braggart, portraying yourself as the happy, fulfilled person you are can go a long way when you're looking to meet someone new. But don't divulge any private or sensitive information. So you met Mr. or Mrs. Right online, and now they're asking you to deposit a check for them before you can meet them in person. If any of your potential partners are asking you about sensitive issues early on in your relationship, like your finances or medical history, that's a major red flag and a sign you should shut things down. One more point in this section here is have your first date somewhere public. Your safety is paramount when it comes to dating at any age, so don't agree to have your early dates at your home. Meet somewhere public for your first few dates and get to know the person you're seeing before showing them your place or going to theirs. So those are quite a few points from a website that will be in the description box about dating if you're over 50, but application can be made really at dating at any age. And I wanted to do this, and we'll continue with more of these tips because a lot of people are faced with having to find someone else or kind of just pack it in and throw in the towel. And I would like to see people have other options. One of the things I did was going overseas to meet my wife, which I did. You can see many videos about that here. So we will be continuing this in another video. So don't go away. Stay tuned for more from Love Beyond the Sea.